All right, we are live. Barstool Units, episode 32, August 31st, 2021. I am Coach Doug's. With me, as always, the delightful Frank the Tank Fleming. Frank, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's been hectic times. I've been doing as many cameos as possible. I mean, the requests are just coming in. I feel like Al Roker out there on the jetty getting splashed every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
With all the requests I'm getting.
Frank, you're a star. Everybody wants a piece of you.
Yeah, they want me. Do you know what it is? They want all these draft orders.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I got a couple of requests for it. I turned Cameo off, which I've got a couple of emails from Cameo, from guys from Cameo, like, "Hey, when are you coming back?" You know, it's like, it's one of those things for me. It's like if I'm having fun doing it and everything, obviously, I want to have fun and I want to enjoy it, and but it became too much, especially when I was on the road. It's like I'm driving 4 hours, I'm going to a baseball game, and then like I'm in a hotel room at night. I just don't have the same drive you have, Frank. I don't have that stamina. You're just doing so many. I mean, you've got the energy, and but I will say this: the energy. Hopefully, I will start getting more energy. I'm starting my 30 and 30 tomorrow, or I guess, yeah, if this comes out the 31st. So Wednesday, the 1st, I'm doing 30 and 30. I'm going to try and lose 30 pounds in September. I think I can do it.
Well, once you get up here and we can start walking, I've done some crazy walks some days. I take one day a week. Now, I typically walk around Chelsea when I'm in the office. Today, I didn't get a really good chance to really do a good walk today. Too many crazy things going on with the fucking Mets.
Yeah, well, and I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, so we'll definitely get into walks and everything, but
I did one walk about a month ago, where I tried to go to Little Italy, and I ended up getting lost in Chinatown.
Really?
There's a miniature golf place now that's only a temporary one. We got to order tickets in advance because it's so popular and busy.
Really?
But it's right at Battery Park.
Okay.
And it's Pixar themed. And I did a nice walk after that on the pier. I walked around Battery Park, Battery Park is a little park, but it's mainly a pier.
Mm-hmm.
And you could catch the ferry, the Circle Line ferry over there, and you could also catch the Staten Island ferries near there, and the ferry to Statue of Liberty.
Okay, and that's Pixar themed. When is that over? Do you know how long it goes?
Probably, I think it goes into October.
Okay, well,
so I definitely have to hit that one of these days.
Yeah,
and then I walked from there straight up and right into the World Trade Center, past the Trade Center memorials.
Okay, that's also something I haven't had a chance to see yet.
Yeah, so there's walks like that. Of course, I did the walk around Morningside Heights to find the Seinfeld Diner.
Okay.
Last week, Borelli's had a pop-up shop on First Avenue, and I did a ton of walking that day. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, did you? So was it far from the office? Like you walked there?
Yeah. Well, I didn't walk there completely. I took the subway from the office to Columbus Circle, which is 59th Street. Then I took a bus down 57th Street. And then I walked around the I went to Burley's. I walked around the 59th Street Bridge, the Queensboro Bridge, Ed Koch Bridge, whatever you want to call it. Walked around both sides of the bridge. Didn't go over it into Queens, but I walked around it.
Yeah.
Then I took another bus up to 57th Street and walked from 57th to Times Square, 15 blocks. Before getting a subway back to the office.
Wow. It's Frank's day out. Frank's big day out. That's a lot of walking, Frank.
Yeah, so I pick one day a week to have to really go gusto on the walks.
Yeah.
And of course,
I'm excited to get up there and get on.
Of course, I went to Rough and Rowdy last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that I mean, I tell you what a night. What a night!
I met up with some of the members of Micro Championship Wrestling.
I saw that. I saw that. Well, that was the guy that said you guys were gonna work some things
Yep,
out, right?
yep. We did a couple. He was on a couple of my Mets minutes. Walked from the hotel to a hot dog place that was a half mile away, and walked back. Of course, was at the arena, walking around the arena on the night of the event. The next day, got up at 5:30 in the morning. Got to get to the airport. The airport was fogged in, so the plane was 20 minutes delayed, which meant I had only about 20 minutes to get to my changeover plane. The plane from Charleston, West Virginia, flew to Chicago, and I had to walk through I had to walk from Terminal F to Terminal C at O'Hare Airport as fast as I possibly could.
A real Home Alone moment.
To catch the plane back to Newark.
Yeah.
Got back to Newark, dropped my stuff off, went to a Mets game to watch them retire Jerry Kuzman's number and get a bobblehead.
Oh, okay. Was it a Kuzman bobblehead?
Yep.
Nice. So that was a Met game worth going to. And
of course, the players respond by booing me.
Specifically you. I say that in jest, but at the same time.
Oh, I know. I'm one of the main guys they're targeting. I know for a fact.
I'm laughing because it's funny, not because I don't think you're being serious. I think you're being very serious, and I agree. I think it would be difficult for anyone to not see the connection there. Especially, all the social media, being blocked by, some players. I think they're directing it directly towards you.
But yeah, it's yeah. I mean, Javier Baez has been nothing but a total bust since the Mets got him. Total bust.
So I remember we were in Chicago when it happened, and you were pretty excited about the possibility of him coming to the Mets. It didn't seem to work. All he
does is swing it every fucking day. 50 Cent could go out there. 50 Cent could go out there, and he'd swing at whatever 50 Cent was throwing.
Yeah, I saw the one pitch where it seemed like he was like 3 seconds before the ball even came to the plate. He was swinging.
I was at that game.
Yeah. Well, so we're under agreement, or we're in agreement that they're most likely booing you. How does that feel, being a Mets fan? And I'm not sure I understand the full. I don't understand, like, they get paid millions of dollars to play a game. When they play badly and they're booed, the idea that when they play well, which is what they get paid millions of dollars to do, that would somehow legitimize them booing the fans. It's like, no, you get paid. If you did not do your job well, you don't then get to congratulate and celebrate when you do what you're paid to do.
Well, we got a manager that I think wants the players to start shaking hands when
he wants it to be like Little League. Have you seen those Little League World Series?
Yep.
I've been watching a few of those games, like the pitcher gives up a home run, and he runs to the third baseline in order to give the batter a high five.
How about the team that got no hit? The first guy to congratulate him was the opposing team.
Like, I get it, like, sportsmanship and everything, and like, hey, don't be a jerk, and appreciate the competition and the camaraderie of being part of in a competition with the team. But there's a difference between like that and basically celebrating losing.
Boy, did you see the Little League World Series? It's double elimination until it gets to the semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
So what you had was South Dakota and Hawaii did not lose a game the entire tournament, going back all the way.
Yeah.
So anyway, they both lose to teams that are already beaten in the semifinals.
Yeah.
And were eliminated.
That's unfortunate. Do
I
they need to
mean,
change that up? I mean, is this
yeah, they need to change that up.
so once so it's double elimination until a certain point, and then it's single elimination?
Then it's semifinal. It
It's
was
like playoffs?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was because they called the leagues. It used to be most years it's American Championship and the International Championship.
Mhm.
And what happened was there were no international teams participating, so it was 16 American teams, and they called it the Tom Seaver division and the Hank Aaron division.
And so and that's because of COVID?
Yeah,
Like no international teams?
yeah.
Well, like I said, it's I don't know, it's wild to see these major league players booing. Like you said, the manager obviously doesn't have Rojas doesn't have a clue what's going on. I mean, you think he's going to be there next season?
Well, according to most reports, his job is safe, which tells me nothing will ever change. If Rojas is back next year, it's going to be more misery.
That's like a clear sign that Cohen is not changing anything.
Right.
I mean, with him tweeting out, I think that that must give you a little bit of hope that he's willing to publicly speak out and say like this isn't good with the batters. So I mean,
and then the Mets released that blanket statement that they always did when someone did something fucked up.
Yeah. No matter what it is.
Yeah, the individuals within this team have done things that are detrimental to the team. They will be spoken to.
Yeah,
I mean that goes back to when Mr. Met flipped off the fans.
Yeah. That's another funny situation. Maybe they should just dive into it. Maybe they should just go like full heel into it and just say, you know what, forget you guys. Like I don't,
I'm thinking about getting together with somebody and maybe doing a karaoke.
Yeah.
Version of we didn't start the fire about the Mets the last 35 years. And I was thinking that the chorus could go, the Mets are a dumpster fire. They are always losing and embarrassing. The Mets are a dumpster fire. Haven't done a single thing since winning the series.
And that's have they only been back to the World Series one time? Twice?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. The Subway Series in 2001, right?
2000. But yeah, I could do like Dwight Gooden on cocaine, Mrs. Duffler Series parade. Greg Jeffries with his own bat, Roger McDowell pisses on.
I think we have some.
I got to workshop this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're in the right place. I'm pretty sure there are some people in the office that will definitely help you with that. Speaking
Vince
of guys,
Coleman fireworks blowing up in fans' faces. Bobby Bo showed up Bronx. What else do I have to say?
Mets are a dumpster fire. Now you got me. Okay, it's in my head. That works. Well, so there's definitely some guys in the office that will help you with that. There are some guys that will not help you with that. You were on the rundown today with Dave. It was a two-man rundown. KFC and Clem still have not apologized to you.
Well, Clem rarely goes to the office. He's a house husband.
Yeah.
He's raising some small kids, so he can't be there all the time.
Yes.
And KFC just,
I think he has basically said you were right, but he's not going to say that you're right. He's canceled the season, hasn't he?
No.
Like he hasn't done that yet?
He has not canceled. Even though there's seven.
He's talked about it though, right?
Even though there's 7.5 out.
Yeah.
As September begins, they have the most fucked up doubleheader in the history of fucked up doubleheaders, Jamal. Well, the Dodgers are beating the Braves right now, so they'll be and the Mets play a really fucked up doubleheader.
How so?
Well, back in April, the first weekend of the series, of the season, the Mets played the start of the game against the Marlins. It was 50 degrees. It was raining. It was a Sunday afternoon. I mean, it was pouring rain all day. They tried to start the game. Marcus Stroman was pissed off. He kept fidgeting with the baseball. He couldn't get a grip of the baseball. Eventually, after two batters got on, the umpires called for the turf.
Mm-hmm.
The game was suspended. They're going to resume that game with the Marlins with the runners on base, nobody out.
Mm-hmm.
And Stroman, since he pitched Saturday, can't pitch. So Taijuan Walker will be coming into the game and basically starting the game, but it'll be considered a relief outing. The game is going to be played at noon. It's a 9-inning game because the game had started and was suspended. The Mets' regularly scheduled game, separate admission, will be played at 7 and be a 7-inning game.
Well, if they're not considering the first game a 7-inning game, it still counts towards the doubleheader, though, to make the second game 7 innings?
Yes. And it's separate admission. So people who buy tickets for the first game can't stay for the second game without buying tickets for the second game. And that first game is beginning at noon.
Yeah. So, I imagine not a lot of people will be there at noon then?
Oh, no, that stadium is going to be empty, considering also the fact that when that game was played, it was played before when they were limiting the seating capacity to 8,000.
Yeah.
Everyone was in pods. And it was a rainy day, so they had no fans anyway.
Yeah. So there's just going to be nobody there. It's just going to be...
The Mets are playing like shit. They're playing the Marlins, a team that doesn't draw. The Marlins have skull fucked the Mets all year. I mean, it's just the most fucked up doubleheader I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah. Well.
And you can thank Rob Manfred for this.
Yeah, have we heard any news about MLB and Barstool? Anything further on that?
No. Manfred's a coward. That probably is never going to happen.
Well, I mean, if he listens to this show, probably not. But
well, the ESPN. You have all the woke ESPN.
Yeah. Well, so I'm guessing that the Mets are now at a part of the season where it's over with.
Yeah, they're
too far behind.
They're 7.5 out. Although the Braves are not in good shape right now, so they'll probably be 7 out.
Okay, but they're still, the Braves and the Phillies are still up first and second, right?
Yeah.
And then so I mean, is there still a chance?
No.
It's mathematically possible, but it's just not going to happen.
The Mets are 63 and 67. They're going to have a tough time even winning 70 games. Well, I won't say that far. They're not going to win 75 games.
They would have to go on a run.
Yeah,
which is possible, but not likely.
No, not the way they're hitting, and not the way they literally do not give a fuck. Pete Alonso is leading the charge to want to do the high-fiving the opposing team.
I mean, I don't know how you do it. I mean, honestly, I mean,
you know what he said earlier this year.
Yeah,
fans shouldn't be upset when we lose. They should just be happy
it's just a game, you know,
and just be happy that they're getting to watch baseball and sitting in the sunshine and breathing fresh air.
I can't imagine if another player had said, like, if Trevor Lawrence or if some major NFL player had said that, I can't imagine continuing rooting for that player.
I mean, and I think a lot of it comes from the fucking manager.
Yeah, they set the tone, right?
He set the tone in his press conference, who said that after they lost 11 out of 13 to the Dodgers and Giants, that it was a pleasure to be on the field with them.
That's yeah. Again, I think when people listen to this, I mean, obviously I've been spending a lot of time with you on the road, and so I'm coming at it from, I'm not some I guess, third party in the situation, or I guess, some neutral factor. I've been listening to you on the road say the Mets are doing this wrong, the Mets are doing that wrong, the Mets continue to do this, and then the next game, the Mets do exactly what you said they were going to do. And so when I'm saying Frank was right, I'm basically on your side because you have been right. I've been listening to you every day, and so I understand like when Frank and Clem get upset, and because
the pitching for the most part has been solid.
But it doesn't matter if you can't score any runs.
The relief pitching has been good. The starting pitching has been stellar. But the offense has been just unbelievably bad.
Yeah. Well, the season's almost over with. We've got football starting. Did you hear about so there was a possibility that Deshaun Watson was going to go to the Dolphins?
I just don't see that.
Yeah, but did you see that? It looked like a rumor, but something was, I couldn't.
It is a risky trade.
Well, when I heard that, I'm just like, okay. I mean that would basically be them saying we don't believe in Tua, right?
That would definitely be.
And so it's one of those, where there's smoke, there's fire. The fact that would even be a possibility, that it was.
Well, look, Deshaun Watson wants out of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for these allegations, Deshaun Watson would have been out of Houston.
Yeah.
Now, there's serious allegations, and if you can go get Deshaun Watson and are 100% sure he's going to be able to play, you do it.
Yeah.
But it's just too risky, if you ask me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's the same. I mean, it's the same reason that teams don't want certain players to be on the team. It's just an issue that they don't want to deal with. So no, I totally understand that. Well, I'm excited. Like I said, football starting, not just the NFL, but college football. And we've got a pretty crazy week one. This has come together in the past week. Frank and Doug's are going to take over Tallahassee for FSU Notre Dame. I'm excited for it. I mean, I haven't been to an FSU game in two or 3 years. I've
never been to a Division I football game.
This is going to be a great. I'm excited. It's Notre Dame.
I've been to Montclair State games, Division III.
Yeah,
but never been to a Division I game.
I mean, you're gonna have it's Doak Campbell Stadium, 83,000 people. We've got good seats,
and I'll be one of the few.
I'm sure there's going to be quite a few Notre Dame fans there. They always have a pretty good traveling group at the stadium.
One thing for sure, that's going to be an emotional the stadium.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
because when they do the tribute to Bobby Bowden.
Yeah,
I know when I go to my next Met game, it's going to be an emotional day.
Yeah.
Get this. My next ticket for a Mets home game is September 11th, 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
And they're playing
the Yankees, right?
The Yankees.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a New York game. I'll be in. Actually, I think I'll be in town for that. Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. It's definitely going to be emotional. I was doing a podcast earlier, Double Fries No Slaw. It was like an FSU podcast, and they asked me about Bobby Bowden, and I haven't really thought about it, and so I almost teared up just thinking about it. They were like, talking about, what do you think about Bobby, and I'm just like, I mean, he like when I'm gone, I hope people say the same thing about me, where it's, when they're talking about him, they don't bring up like at least the first thing that they bring up is not his record. They don't say, oh, Bobby Bowden was great because he had multiple national titles. They bring up like, what he did with his players and how
if you want to see how great Bobby Bowden is, watch the movie We Are Marshall.
Yeah, you've told me about that, where he basically directed the kids that weren't going to be on his team, like, hey, you guys should go to Marshall, right?
Yeah, and he helped him. He helped him with some game plans that would work for these players.
Yeah.
And this is He's the coach of West Virginia. At the time, was a rival to Marshall.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, he helped the Marshall football program stay afloat after that horrific plane crash.
Yeah. It's Bobby Bowden. Yeah, so it'll definitely be it'll be an emotional game for sure. Bobby Bowden just passed away, and it's Notre Dame, it's FSU. You know, it's just two huge ACC schools. You know, going at it. Notre Dame has to join the ACC.
Eventually, it's going to happen
as a full member. There's no way the TV money they're getting from NBC is enough to be.
Eventually, it's going to happen.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm excited. We're gonna be in Tallahassee. We're gonna do some hot dog reviews, and then we're driving up. We're gonna drive up the East Coast. I got to hit up some mini golf, and
figure. I've never been to Georgia. I've never been to any. Well,
on that midnight train to Georgia.
I kind of was in North Carolina last week.
Kind of. What did you like? Fly in and
change planes in Charlotte.
That doesn't count.
It doesn't count to me either.
Yeah, if you don't leave the airport, it doesn't count.
I've never been to Virginia.
We're gonna go through Virginia.
I've never been to Alabama either.
Alabama, we could definitely do that. Because Alabama is really, it's only. I'm trying to think how far away Tallahassee is. The Alabama border is right there at Tallahassee. It might be 30, 45 minutes. We could definitely
just go.
We could definitely go through Alabama.
Go partly way through Alabama, maybe stop somewhere to eat and stop somewhere just to walk around Alabama. Say I've stepped foot in Alabama.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely have Alabama.
At the end of the month, we're going to Boston, and I figure we should go to Connecticut, Massachusetts, hook down to Little Rhodey.
Yeah.
Go to Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and then back home. Hit all the states.
It's going to be, I think at that point, I might have hit all the states east of the Mississippi.
Well, I haven't hit Vermont. I haven't hit Rhode Island in the Northeast.
I haven't been up anywhere. I mean, I've hit Boston, but nothing. I haven't hit Maine or Vermont or Connecticut.
Yeah, and I've never hit as I mentioned, I've never hit Virginia, Carolinas.
Yeah, we'll
Georgia.
Go through there. We'll go through there. We might even, if it's not too far away, we might even stop in North Carolina and see our good friend Steven Schock, pitcher. Maybe he can give us some tips for our future first pitches. I tell you what, I don't like to give myself that much credit. My last few first pitches have been pretty good.
That's good.
Pretty good. There's no speed on them. I need to figure out how to throw the ball faster. So I might need to talk to White Sox Dave about that.
Well, I've always been a fan of the knuckleball. So So for me, speed's overrated.
That's fair. Well, I'm excited. No, it's going to be a heck of a trip. Yeah, we can go up a little bit into Alabama, and then we'll go. We got to go to Atlanta.
Was that?
Got to go to Atlanta. I'm going to go and say it now. I think I understand your palate pretty well. Like I gave when we went to John and Judy's, am I saying that right?
Gene and Jude's.
That's when we went to Gene and Jude's, I knew you were going to like that. I do not think you're going to like the Varsity.
Well, it's big. It's famous.
It's famous, but I think it's famous just because it's been. I think it's famous because it's been there for so long. I like the Varsity, but I have the palate of a child. It's just it's a chili cheese hot dog. I'll eat it. But we'll go to the Varsity to make sure you got to try out the Varsity.
I mean, to see Atlanta would be nice. To see all these different places,
yeah.
And if we get lucky enough, maybe we'll hit a baseball game on the way up.
Yeah, well, we got to test it out. I don't think Mondays is it Monday? Is Mondays an off day in the MLB as well?
No.
Okay, so because minor league baseball, it's pretty much they play Tuesday through Sunday and then have Monday off.
Kind of weird, but
Yeah, I think it's just this season they've basically been playing 6-day trips, whether they're home or away.
Well, there's this independent minor league team that's got like a weird thing. The Carolinas.
Is it a collegiate league or is it?
It's like a. I don't know if it's a collegiate league. I think it's an independent league. They got the name the Carolina Disco Turkeys.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I've heard about them. Yeah. Well, shoot, I'm trying to think of what league they're in.
And they've been wearing short pants this year, like the 1976 White Sox.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I've definitely seen the logo. I'm not sure if they were.
The logo is hilarious.
Yeah. No, just picture like Saturday Night Fever, John Travolta, but it's like a turkey.
Yeah.
It's funny. Well, I'm all about that. I mean, this past weekend I went to I was in Palm Beach. They have the Palm Beach Cardinals, and the Palm Beach Cardinal and the Jupiter Hammerheads actually play in the same stadium. But then I crossed the state for the Fort Myers Mighty Muscles, which is actually owned. The Mighty Muscles are owned by a Jacksonville businessman. I met the GM there, and he also owns the Jacksonville Icemen, our local ECHL team here. And that was just surprised, like, oh, all right. Because I am looking to become an owner of a minor league, sport team. So I'm, trying to make these little connections. That's my life. My lifelong goal has always been, to be a very minority owner in a sports group. Just enough to where it's legally I can say I'm an owner.
Ever think about buying stock in the Packers?
I have not. No, I couldn't do that as a Jaguar fan. I wouldn't feel right. Well, I'm excited. It's going to be a fun week. Speaking of fun,
I think PFT owns a part of the Packers.
I believe he does. I believe he's mentioned it at least once or twice. Speaking of PFT, was going with the experts there. So you just did trivia.
Yep.
How did that went well?
Went reasonably well.
Reasonably well. All right. Yeah. No spoilers. Coming out tomorrow, right?
I put it this way: the highlight is I used the double swipe to perfection.
Oh, the double dip.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Good deal.
I used it to perfection.
All right. I'm not sure what that. I mean, I'm guessing that it worked out for you.
Yeah.
Good deal. And that'll be coming out. So this will be coming out on the 30th or the
31st. Well, so I'm going to schedule this to be released at 11, which is right after the dozen premieres. So
okay, good deal. All right, so the dozen will be out. Go watch the dozen with Frank and the Frankettes.
If you haven't watched it already, watch it.
If you haven't watched it already, or even if they have, watch it again. And that you guys were going up against the fellas.
The fellas, yep.
Yeah, and well, I tell you, there's a lot of people that say, Coach Doug's is only on the out of office team because of his good looks. Go watch my last performance. I gave a correct answer. So, that's my highlight reel for now.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I had. It was Jeff is getting tricky. With those niche categories. Yeah. He's finding the hardest questions possible for the niche categories now.
Yeah. Well, listen. It's because we're 2 points, right?
Yeah.
And it's your niche category. So I like it. It's like if you're going to put up a niche category, you better know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We got lucky, I think, because out of office, we're 2-0, thanks to Chris Castellani for the most part, and also Joey. I think Chris Castellani 90%, or 70%. Joey, let's see here, 29%, and then I'm that 1% because I did give one correct answer last week. I'm happy to be on the team, but yeah, those niche categories, we went up against Uptown Balls. Smitty chose Jaws as his niche category, and we selected it, and he unfortunately missed it. Well, fortunately for us, and he left the game at the end of it, kind of stormed off. Uptown Balls. Castellani broke Brandon Walker in our first game. Brandon Walker was not happy. I think he almost quit. And then Uptown Balls has some internal feud. I think Chris Castellani is breaking the other teams. So, and I'm only saying this to you because obviously we're dear friends, and I want to make sure that, if we ever come up against the Frank Frankettes, that,
our losses are few and far between.
They are. Well, I laughed about it because you said you would be my phone a friend if we need you, and I thanked you, and then said I would also be your phone a friend. I don't know in what circumstance that would be helpful to you, but just know if something crazy does come up, I will be there for you.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. Well, I'm excited for this week. FSU, Notre Dame at FSU, traveling up the East Coast, going to be doing mini golf and hot dog reviews. We'll be in the office for the fantasy football selection.
Yep, and hopefully you can find a spot and we could have a pretty fun fall.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, anything else? So, Frank, I mean, that's Barstool Units. Anything else you want to take us out with?
Well, let's see. I'm doing cameos. I haven't watched Hard Knocks yet, although I keep hearing the song nonstop in my head.
That's
click,
Barstool
like,
Units.
subscribe.
Say one. So I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Frank. Say it one more time.
I haven't watched any Hard Knocks this year because I'm doing cameos and draft orders, and the song is stuck in my head.
Click like and subscribe. See you guys next time.